What's up, fantasy managers? Why are rookie wide receivers so important to fantasy football? Let's take a look at some of them. Jamar Chase's rookie season, Justin Jefferson, Puka Nacua. They can win you leagues. We have 6 wide receivers we're going to discuss today that you should keep an eye on. I know you're interested, so stick around for 7 seconds.
What's up, Zoners? This is Tyler, Big Third Ward, and Jason, the lucky bastard youth will coming at you live from the West Coast. And this is the Fantasy Red Zone. Today we have a huge episode, Jason. The NFL draft is next week. And guess what, dude? It's not just rookie running backs that make a huge impact this day and age. It's the wide receivers too, man. They're coming out better than their daddies. We'll talk about that in a second. And hey, man, if you want to support the show, we've been hitting the film room hard the last 2 days. If you want us to hit it even harder, man, get some more knowledge from these domes, these huge domes of ours, please support the show. Jason, please tell the public how they can help us.
Yeah, if you guys enjoy watching, listening to two friends talk about football and give their insight, please subscribe, press the like. We like the likes. Leave us a comment. Let us know what you think about these wide receivers we're going to discuss here today. We're also on Spotify at the Fantasy Red Zone. Tyler, I got my tap, bro. It's Unleashed.
Hope everybody likes those balls out there, them dragon balls, because otherwise you're going to be like, Jason, what did you get on your arm?
Can I show you real quick?
Yes. There you go, man.
I
looked it up because for Jason, I asked him what it meant. He said it means I powered up. I leveled up in Dragon Ball Z.
That's not what I said.
Yes, you did, dude. I got it. I got it on text.
Please look. Please look right now. Read it.
So I was like, dude, I got to go look this up because Chinese symbols, man, sometimes mean something way different than what the tattoo artist means. Hey, man, he got the best Dragon Ball Z one. It meant wisdom and stuff.
And
if you would have got Gohan's, it would have been boiled rice. Jason, that would have meant boiled rice if you would have got Gohan's.
I want to know if boiled rice means something else in different cultures. Like a hothead.
So, there you go. If you have any tattoos that you want to see on Jason, please request it down below. I haven't popped this virgin skin. I went in when I was 17, saw my buddy get tatted up by a tweaker, and it was the worst tattoo I've ever seen in my life. I was up next, Jason, to get my Blink-182 tattoo, and I ran away.
And he spent the next
time I tried to get a tattoo, some virus came out from COVID.
That guy, our friend, he spent the next like 3 to 5 years trying to do touch-ups and cover-ups on that tattoo.
And it ended up looking pretty cool at the very end. Screw it. I was trying to look at your text. All right, Jason.
Ooh.
So let's get into the news. Hey, this is going to be super important for the regular NFL and fantasy football because, like I said, dude, a huge draft strategy for me. Dude, rookie wide receivers got added to that repertoire a couple of years ago, Jason. Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, dog. So, like I said, there can be superstar wide receivers. Hey, and coming from me, Jason, you know who I had last year? 5th round draft pick, Puka Nacua. We're not doing that today. We're talking about the top 6. He was like 36. All right, Jason, you ready for some news?
I just showed the text.
What'd you show?
It means I surpassed my masters.
Pretty close to what I said, man.
Not close at all.
But it merely means wisdom. So there you go, Jason.
And enlightenment.
I sent you the screenshot. You should know. All right, man. Not much news today. It is all about the wide receiver, which coincides with what we are talking about, man. These dudes are out here getting paid bank. Used to be you did not need an amazing wide receiver to win. Jason, they changed the rules, man. You can't touch fools. Now you get a good wide receiver. Holy shit, man. You can't do anything about it. So wide receiver's huge, man. They're getting paid big time. So let's see. Eagles, Jason, your favorite football team. The Philadelphia Eagles extend Devontae Smith. 3 years, $75 million, $51 million guaranteed. They are trying to get that contract done. There's the CeeDee Lamb over here. They're like, I don't want to compete with that kind of money. Also, Justin Jefferson, man, is going to be setting the record via the Vikings. Hopefully, I'm sure the Vikings will pay him. So the wide receiver market's about to get really expensive. The Eagles do what they usually do and take care of their own fast, Jason. You know, not what the Dallas Cowboys do. Wait till the goddamn last second and then overpay for the people they already have.
Yeah, no shit. What do you feel about this contract, dude? I saw it was like 3 years, $75 million with 51 guaranteed. I was like, damn, did he really show that much to get paid $25 million a year?
Dude, he went on streaks, Jason. Like, do you remember, man, in fantasy football before AJ Brown got there, he was getting 100 plus yards a game a while. Jalen Hurts, man, goes through some games where he hyper targets him 11 times. I really like Devontae Smith. I think if he was the only wide receiver there, he'd be a top 5 fantasy wide receiver probably. And if they would have kept Shane Steichen, I don't know who the hell's they're going to be the offensive coordinator. But still, man, no, I do not see that. But once it gets reset, Jason, I think they're looking into the future. This will look like a good deal in a couple months.
Okay.
So I know it sounds like a lot of guaranteed money right now, but I think that's what you had to do, man. I mean, he was a high draft pick. I would not want to see him go to the Patriots or somebody that are looking for somebody like him.
This kind of blows my mind as he's like a number 2 wide receiver on the team. And I'm like, dude, CeeDee Lamb can't even get $25 million right now.
Dude, the thing is that he could be a number 1. But CeeDee Lamb, dude, he's going to get paid bank, dude. If he's smart, he'd wait until after Justin Jefferson, but we'll see. Leading into this, dude, another news, Jason, your real favorite team, the Dallas Cowboys, CeeDee Lamb will not show up to OTAs and wants a new contract, Jason. So, if it was up to you, do you mind? Do you think CeeDee Lamb is worth being the highest paid wide receiver in the NFL right now?
Yeah, pay him. Pay the guy. Look what he did last year. He's like in his prime right now. I don't really care that he's not showing up to camp or these practices. I also saw today Lamar Jackson actually went to this camp or practicing or training skills, whatever it is. And it's the first time he's done it in his career.
I don't really put too much in it unless you're a rookie or a second-year player or you're on a new team. I don't really care too much if you show up to OTAs for the most part.
Yeah, I'm more like, I'll start going after the draft. Let me enjoy my vacation some more, man.
Yeah, and Justin Jefferson's doing the same thing. So he wants a new contract. He's already talked about it. He threatened request a trade and all that shit. He wants to know who's going to throw in the ball before he signs anything, he said. All these demands. I don't care, man. They traded KJ Osborne away knowing that they're going to have Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison. Jason, that is a AJ Brown, Devontae Smith type of thing. Like, eventually, if Justin Jefferson is still there, if they could pay, Jordan Addison, Devontae Smith type of money, I would be all about that. One, like a 1A, 1B type of situation.
Yeah.
I don't know why I just thought of that, dude. Anyways, dude, what do I think about this? I think Justin Jefferson's going to be, I think CeeDee Lamb's going to get paid first. They will pay him. That's why they didn't pay Dak Prescott. So CeeDee Lamb's going to be getting paid. He went to Oklahoma, Jason, which is, I think, where Jerry Jones went. So they got that connection, man. And am I right about that? He went to Oklahoma, right?
I think he went to Arkansas.
I was just going to say, where's Arkansas? And that's where CeeDee Lamb went. Arkansas?
No, he went to Oklahoma.
Damn it, dude. I thought there was a connection there. Take back everything I said. All right. But yeah, and then Justin Jefferson is going to come in and make more money than that. And then, like I said, we're all going to be looking at the Devontae Smith and think that he got a good deal. So, Jason, lastly, it's the last thing on the news, man. Not much going on. It was all UFC related shit, which was amazing. Dude, Hulu picked up so much free fights, and I got to watch it. It was awesome. Let me see, though, Jason.
Oh, that's
Brandon
cool.
Ayuk. Did you see Brandon Ayuk? What does your dad think about Brandon Ayuk requesting a trade? Jason is with his dad. Shout out to Steve in Euthenwold.
Oh, he's got some input that I will share later today. He doesn't like it. I mean, it kind of sucks. He doesn't like it. Just plain and simple. That son of a bitch. Pay him. But, yeah, he's a good wide receiver. He's a real good wide receiver. And he wants the money. He should get it. And I guess if they can't give it to him, let him go. Let him go somewhere else.
They already paid Debo. If I was them, I would try to trade Debo away and keep Brandon Ayuk. I think Ayuk is amazing, man. I forget what stat I was seeing, but for like the opportunities that he gets, the analytics say that he is a top 3 wide receiver in the league or something like that. Maybe it was top 5.
It's something crazy good.
Yeah, he's amazing. And it just this offense, you know, I mean, you can't really think if they don't run. It's just that is a weird offense, man, where they just attack at all levels. Goddamn, the fullback gets touchdowns, man. Yeah, so it's like they just can't afford to pay everybody, and Deebo Samuel's what they're paying right now. So that's the choice they're making.
I still think he has untapped potential right now because...
Dude, if he goes somewhere else, Jason, we will be pushing for him to get drafted in your fantasy drafts.
Yes, please.
Higher than what you should be. All right, man. So that is the news. Not a lot, Jason, that I could think of. We already talked about most of it. What can you think of anything?
No, it looks like T. Higgins is going to play for the Bengals this year.
I thought I saw something about that. Was somebody, because they franchise tagged him, right?
Yeah, and he requested a trade, but I think he's basically saying he's not going to get traded and he's going to have to play for the Bengals.
I can't really think of a huge market for T. Higgins. Is anybody going out looking for fucking T. Higgins right now? Like, dude, maybe that guy on Matthew Berry's fantasy hour that drafted him 2nd round, Jamar Chase, 1st round. Idiots.
This guy's a stud.
Nobody said shit. Hate that show. All right, Jason. Enough of the news. We're going to get into the top 6 wide receivers in the NFL draft. Hey, my team doesn't need one. We got Jordan Addison last year. That worked out. We sent away our 3rd wide receiver. Jason, does Dallas need a wide receiver?
I think so. We just lost Michael Gallup. All we have is CD Lamb now. I mean, don't get me wrong. He's going to get majority of the receptions, targets, touchdowns. But it was nice to get like a, Jalen Waddle to a Tyreek Hill. Kind of get someone to relieve some pressure.
Ding, 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 ding. All right, Jason. Yeah, with that offense, man, like they were so good, and they got rid of Tony Pollard. Yeah, dude, they could use some firepower. I'll tell you. I mean, they should probably get like a second or 3rd round wide receiver. Worry about that offensive line or something in the 1st round. I don't know. Do they even have a 1st round pick, Jason, the Cowboys?
Yeah. They're saying they're going after a lineman.
Yeah,
I think his name's like Tyler Guyton.
I would rather be Gutton.
I'm like, if his name's Tyler, he must be good.
All right, people. Funny. Jason, did you see that comment? It was like, you see Tyler chugged the beer and he threw it against the wall. He made all those faces, and I was like, I was watching sometimes I'm out of it sometimes, man. Like, I couldn't imagine if I was at a bar and I'm just like doing all these faces to myself and like.
Yeah, and it's like I had to go back and look because I don't see that because I have my notes up. So I go back and look, and you do the whole like you gave like the stink eye for some like weird reason.
Have you ever seen that basketball player? I think it's Alonzo Mourning on the bench, and he's just like so pissed, and then he's like. I feel like that's what I was doing.
Sometimes I go back and I'm watching this and I'm like, I'm talking and then I'm looking at you and I see you doing like, I'm like, damn, is he upset? I mean, did I say something wrong? Or, well, I'm like, Tyler's just back there. He gets bored. And when he's bored, he just makes faces.
I guess. Well, I was thinking the worst thing, like, man, even if you're doing psychedelic drugs or whatever you're doing, do not look in a mirror. See yourself. Yeah. You see yourself, Jason. You start doing weird shit.
You'll get stuck. You get closer and closer to the mirror.
Where's Justin Reyes? It's like he's been in the bathroom for 4 hours. That was Parker Reynolds too, man.
Yeah, just laughing in the mirror.
Oh, my pores are huge.
I could go swimming in these pores. Okay, let's start this. I think I'm
going to go first. Are you ready?
Yeah. I think if I remember correctly, Tyler, we got this list from PFF too.
Yeah, so same thing as our running backs. PFF is the most trusted people, wherever you look. So analytically, they're good to go with. So we're going to go with their top-rated players since they've got more time on this shit than us. And then we're going back and reviewing this stuff. But we are going to go deeper, Jason. We're going to go deeper cuts later on. Because depending on where some of these deeper running backs go, we're going to want them in fantasy as well. And in real life. So opportunities are going to be there for late rounds as well.
Let's start off with this young lad, McConkey. McConkey. As a freshman, he led the Bulldogs in receptions and receiving yards, and that is with George Pickens on the team in 2021. In 2022, he had his best year with 58 receptions and 762 yards with Brock Bauer and, oh my God, what's that wide receiver going? Mitchell? Adonai Mitchell on the
Adonai
team.
Mitchell? Oh, yeah, because he's on Georgia.
Mitchell. Well, he was on Georgia during this time, but he was actually injured that year. He only played like 5 games, so that's also probably why McConkey went and had a better season. And he only played 9 games in 2023, McConkey, because of his injuries. But he had his best yards per reception with 15.9 in 2023. He was kind of a beast in like kind of the middle of the field, but like deep middle, mid deep of the field, Helms deep. He averaged 3.70 yards per route run in 2023, which is better than Marvin Harrison Jr. His 40-yard dash time is 4.39, which is in the 94th percentile. Watching his game, he looks like a great route runner, which is what I love most, and he is quick off the line of scrimmage. Now, with his speed and route running skills, he's able to create separation from defenders, which is amazing. So, Tyler, speaking of family here, I went to the family tree, my own family tree, and asked my sister who her comparison is for McConkey. She said A.J. Brown. I laughed. I giggled. I chuckled. But then she said she was just kidding. Huh?
This guy's tiny.
I know. That's part of it. She just goes, A.J. Brown. I'm like, what? I was like, I don't think so. But she said she was just kidding. But, who might argue she is the current champion of our league. But my comparison is Adam Thielen. I saw McConkey quickly find open spots and zone coverage within 5 yards, run, turn, catch, and get some yards after catch. I saw that a lot with Adam Thielen. I saw a lot with McConkey. I believe his route running skills are similar to Adam Thielen. Depending on the Giants' first couple of picks, experts are expecting McConkey to be drafted by the Giants in the later rounds. Second day. And that's it.
Yeah, Jason, I'm just looking at this guy's right now. It's so funny because I was like, I had him written down. I thought you sent me the text wrong. I thought it was McConley. I was like, who the fuck is McConkey, dude? Like, that's not even a real name.
I want to say McConley or McConkey.
Yeah, dude, it's so funny. Like, what do you think when you see this little tiny white guy? What do you think he excels at? Route running. It's like, okay, that's a strength. What do you think he sucks at? It's like a physical strength. Poor jump ball ability, skinny frame. It's like, dude, I am surprised he's at 4.39. That's what kind of throws me off. But like Cole Beasley,
he looks slow on film.
What'd you say?
He looks slow on film.
Well, when he plays, Jason, is he an outside receiver or is he a slot receiver?
It looked like he was a slot, just tearing up the middle of the field.
Dude, this guy looks like Cole Beasley, man. Like, I don't know.
That was good.
This is my first. I've been watching like these athletic freaks just like dominate shit, and now I'm like, okay, this little dude right here, it looks like I bought he packed my, put my groceries in the bag. I don't know about this guy, Jason. I don't know. I think this guy's going to depend greatly on where he goes. We know that I was thinking if he goes somewhere like Buffalo, but no, dude, Tupac Shakur is there, and Tupac is a slot receiver. So
I'm also thinking the same thing.
This guy goes.
I'm like, Wan'Dale Robinson, doesn't he normally play in the slot?
Wan'Dale is on the Giants, yeah.
Yeah, well, that's what I was trying to look to see where people think he's going. It was if the Giants don't get a wide receiver in the first round, they're thinking about maybe trying to get this guy later in the second day.
Yeah, well, I'm surprised that PFF had this guy graded this high. Daniel Jeremiah. Yeah, because Daniel Jeremiah had this guy. Not even on the first day of drafts. He's got some other people going ahead of him. And all these other things I've been watching, I haven't seen his name too high up. And now I'm like, the speed, the speed is what you like in the route running. So maybe in this day, you saw Devontae Smith get paid, Jason. Devontae Smith is better than this dude, but.
And he has a small calves.
Yeah. So I'm not too excited about Ladd. Let's put it that way.
Me either. When I saw this, I really had to try to dive deep to see what was like so special about this guy, but he does have skills in the route running. I think he's probably overlooked because he didn't play many games last year.
I mean, he was on the same team as Adonai Mitchell, Jason, and Adonai Mitchell had to leave.
And Brock Bauer.
Yeah.
Bauer.
And that's kind of interesting. It's almost like you think that Brock Bowers would eat into that slot production, but he was still able to be good in the slot, even with the great tight end. So I do think that means something.
I think they're also looking like Georgia mainly scored rushing touchdowns. I think like out of their 2 running backs last year, they combined for 27 rushing touchdowns. So it was like ground and pound, run, and defense.
Yeah, I'm just thinking about off the top of my head. I'm just thinking about where he would go. I mean, if they didn't have Tank Dell, I'd be like, dude, in Houston, he'd be great with Diggs and Nico Collins. Maybe over there with Baker Mayfield, but Chris Godwin's slot receiver. Yeah, we're gonna have to go through this, Jason. I don't know if you can, like, what teams need a slot wide receiver, but
Raiders. Renfro's gone.
Yeah, and if Gardner Minshew was there, that'd be interesting. I'll give you that. So, I think real world and in fantasy, this guy is not going to be a first year producer. He's going to need to get stronger and then let his route running, be able to get going, because he's not going to be able to get off the line most of the time. All right, Jason. Sorry, I was just thinking about that. I thought about that too much. This lad McConkey, man, threw me off. His last name threw me off. His appearance threw me off. His height and his weight threw me off.
I've been struggling with this guy for 2 days.
Yeah. All right, man. Jason.
Yep.
This guy right here, man. I think I might have him. I think I might be putting him as my 3rd wide receiver in the NFL draft right now. And I have not had a chance. I mean, I checked out some Malik Nabers highlights and a little bit, but I didn't go really deep in Malik Nabers. But I'm trusting what the experts say about that, and just I think number 3 is kind of up for grabs. Man, Adonai Mitchell. Okay, PFF number 30 overall. So PFF does have him as a 1st round wide receiver. 6'2", 205 pounds. He ran a 4.3440. That was 3rd at the combine, 3rd fastest. Won the national championship with Georgia, Jason. You just talked about that. Then he transferred to Texas. First year with that new team, Jason, led the team with 11 touchdowns. You sent me this, Jason. I think it was from the old Twitter. 9.99 relative athletic score is tied for 2nd, only behind Calvin Johnson, man. Only 1 drop in 2023 for a crazy low 1.8% drop rate. That is the same blood alcohol. That's the same as Rashee Rice's blood alcohol level, Jason. He had 0 drops in 2022. So he had 0 drops 2022. I think he had 1 drop 2023. He had 7 drops his entire goddamn career, Jason. He is a slot receiver 13% of the time. So that's not who he is. He is outside, man. He is an ex-wide receiver. Steve Smith. He was I go to Steve Smith and TJ Houshmandzadeh. TJ Houshmandzadeh doesn't have shit about wide receivers this year. So it was all Steve Smith, Jason. He said he is the X. He said that he was impressed by his speed and he's going to be a huge threat downfield. And he got pissed, though. He's like, he's a 90% body catcher. He's all, dude, these Longhorns don't know how to play wide receiver. And I was like, holy shit, man. Like, I was like, this guy's supposed to be good. From what I saw, this guy is like, he's attacking the ball and stuff. I watched Steve Smith came back last week, I think. Said, hey, I've been watching Adonai Mitchell film, and this guy is a top 5 wide receiver to me. I was completely wrong about Adonai Mitchell. I apologize. He only body catches, Jason, when he's just wide open, and he literally body catches. We just talked about how he doesn't drop the ball, so. But, when at the next level, when defenders are tight, you really need to go out and grab the ball. Every time he was covered, and I watched it, dude, he attacks the ball. Steve Smith showed about 3 plays, catching touchdowns, doing crazy shit, man, attacking the ball. Jason, I saw this fool lay down. He had to adjust, fell down and caught the ball on his back. So he adjusts great. His physical prowess is insane. We're talking about Calvin Johnson, man. So I watched the Alabama tape. He burned the Alabama corner for a long touchdown on a double move. Steve Smith showed that. He also had a short touchdown, on the 5-yard line, Jason. So he had both what you want to see. He only had 3 receptions for 70-something yards, but he had 2 touchdowns in that game. Then he also went against Cam Smith, who was a 2nd-round pick for the Panthers last year, I think. And Adonai Mitchell had him on his heels all day. He showed tape of that. DJ projects him to go to the Chiefs, Jason. the Chiefs at number 32 overall. Let's not fucking let that happen, people. Steve Smith says that will not happen because Kansas City does not believe in drafting first-round wide receivers. They like to get second, third-round guys, and they like them to like work their way up the ladder. It's not like they just get a high draft pick and then insert them immediately. Dude, so people were comparing him to as his comp to Josh Reynolds. I think that they were not watching the tape of what they needed to see, Jason, because when I saw the tape, and then I started seeing some of these comps of people like you and I, some fans. I saw it, dude. I saw Amari Cooper immediately. And then when I saw these how he was wearing his pants, Jason, and the way he ran routes, and he did these like late moves and was like open by 10 yards with CeeDee Lamb, dude. So CeeDee Lamb and Amari Cooper, Adonai Mitchell, dude, depending on where he goes, he's got a potential to be the best wide receiver in this draft, which sounds crazy.
I think I actually saw something where I don't know if it was DJ or Malik Nabers Jr. saying that he's going to the Chiefs. And I'm like, dude, that doesn't feel right. Unless they thought Rashee Rice was going to go to prison or something, but so I'm like looking at this, his stats here, and they're writing, he played in back-to-back national championships at Georgia before he transferred to Texas. 2021, he had, oh snap, I pressed the wrong button. He had a 40-yard touchdown in the fourth quarter against Alabama. And then again in 2022, he had a touchdown in the CFP semifinal against Ohio State and a touchdown in the championship game against TCU. This guy looks like all he does is just catch touchdowns. Helps out his teams, win games. And with that being said, the Cincinnati Bengals may have an interest in this guy.
Dude, they on the highlight tape, whoever made it, man, put out this awesome rap song. I meant to see what it was. I'm gonna look it up later because it was badass. But this guy just does in the red zone, man. He goes out, does that fade corner route, and does a 360 spin. Like his body control and awareness is pretty amazing, man. So he's great in the short. I mean, you just talked about all the touchdowns. He's great in the red zone, Jason. And you see how fast he is and the suddenness of his moves. It reminds me of Amari Cooper, man. So.
He also had 2 touchdowns in the fourth quarter against Alabama last year.
Yeah, he's fucking good, dude. So, Adonai Mitchell, I'm all about, man.
Adonai Mitchell.
Next up.
All right. Who's? Oh, you know what? I'm going after those Tigers. Brian Thomas Jr.
It's Brian Robinson Jr., right?
Brian, don't do that.
Oh, shit.
Brian Thomas. The wide receiver. Brian Robinson's the running back.
Is it? Okay.
Oh my gosh, dude.
I was like,
are you double checking? I'm pretty sure it's Brian Thomas, but now you got me second guessing myself. Because I'm like, dude, I want to get this guy depending where he goes, man. I'm like,
oh, that's a running back. Robin. Yeah.
So Brian Thomas, right?
Brian Thompson Jr. is 21 years old, 6'3". Yeah.
Okay. Woo, you have my heart pounding.
Wide receiver for the Tigers. Correct.
Yeah.
My bad.
I was all, I was like, when I entered the YouTube, I swear I put Brian Thomas in it.
I was I'm writing Robinson down right here. I'm an idiot.
Oh my gosh.
Go for it.
Okay. 6'3", 209 pounds. The Forgotten Tiger. A movie coming near you. With the LSU team blowing up in 2023, he brought in 68 balls and received over 1,000 yards. And he was number one. And receiving touchdowns with 17, Tyler, in college football. That's more touchdowns than his teammate, Malik Nabers, and Marvin Harrison Jr., who are both expected to be drafted way before Thomas. And at the Combine, he didn't disappoint with a 40 time of 4.33. That's a 98th percentile, and a speed score of 122.2, which is in the 99th percentile. This guy is 209 pounds, a big-sized wide receiver with elite speed. I do think his route running skills are not the best, but in multiple games, when a play broke down, he just kept running to open spots, and defenders they couldn't keep up with him. This dude has big play potential. Steve Smith is very high on this guy. Steve Smith will make Steve Smith will make you like any player that he talks about. I swear to God, when he was talking about this dude, I was getting all into it. I was like, yeah, 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 yeah. I was like pumped up. He believes that Thomas has a good chance of winning the Rookie of the Year next year. Smith likes Thomas. Smith said that Thomas, like, his play style is very effortless and he likes his smoothness. My comparison is DK Metcalf. Not by the muscle, don't get me wrong, not by the muscle, but how they both make the game seem like they are just like taking a walk through the park, right? It just seems so simple to them. I guess the Bills are interested in picking up Thomas.
Jason, did you see that comparison to DK Metcalf at any point? Or from anybody else?
No. When I was talking to my family about it.
I think it was a late round wide receiver. They're talking about like some super late round wide receiver right now being his comp is DK Metcalf. It was on some football show I was watching. I was like, dude, what is this? I wanted to write him down so I could, hope he goes to he's a Vikings third wide receiver or some shit. But anyways, yeah, so Brian Robinson. Why'd I write Brian Robinson? Dude? That's Bulletproof Rob. Is that what I'm doing here?
Yeah, Bulletproof Rob.
Jeez.
Running back. Commando.
Yeah, PFF number 27 overall. So PFF thinks he's their first round. Jason and DJ Daniel Jeremiah projects the Cardinals to draft him number 23 overall after trading down from the Vikings trade. So
okay,
if he went to, they just lost Hollywood. They've got Trey McBride and they've got who's my man Michael Wilson, who is I think he's a ZY wide receiver, which is like a slot / secondary wide receiver. Jason, I think that it sounds like this guy is a outside X wide receiver, correct?
Yeah.
So that I think that'd be a great fit, and I would actually be very interested because Kyler Murray throws an amazing deep ball. Everything I've heard about this guy, there's no competition, man. So I'd probably be in for that. Your competition is Greg Dortch.
Just go watch the Steve Smith breakdown of him, dude. He'll make you fall in love with this guy. And he was so funny.
In love with the runner.
He is so funny when he talks about his players are great. But no, this guy seems honestly, dude, when I was watching it, I was like, I looked at my family because we're watching tape together. And I was thinking of comparison, and I was like, I threw it out there just for a second. I was like, what do you guys think about Randy Moss? Because it was like crazy from what I was seeing. Even his agility, like after you have to go watch the tape, dude. He number 14 for Michigan State, that linebacker, he juked the shit out of him. Steve Smith made you aware. He's like, watch him juke this dude. And it was like, I was just 1 to 10 plays of him doing stuff like that. And he has the speed to go crazy, and he's tall. But apparently that was too crazy. I do also like DK Metcalf. When they're running, it just like slow motion. What is that? What are you doing?
Oh, there was a hair on my screen, Jason. It's one of my banjo hairs. It's all kinky. All right, man. So, Brian Robinson sounds like somebody that you need to pay attention to in real life and in fantasy. Adonai Mitchell, the same thing. The tiny little, what's his name, Jason? Lad? The tiny little lad.
The young
lad. He will be good, but he'll just need time. He's going to fulfill that role, but it's going to be a little bit before you really see him. So, I say that, Jason, he'll probably come out and kill me. Boom, 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 boom. 120 catches.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck you, lad. All right, man. Jason, one of my favorite TV shows on on HBO, Jason.
Is it Rome?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I think there was a point where I quit watching it, but I remember I liked that show for a while. When I had time to watch shit like that. Anyways.
Now we do stuff for free.
Yeah. PFF, Jason. Number 6 overall player. So they think this guy is a top, like one of the top players in the draft. 6'3", 215 pounds. He's big. He ran a 4.45 40. That's not bad. He's a bigger player, but still, he's not an athletic freak. He was the Washington Offensive Player of the Year and a team captain. When I say team captain, that is going to I think that is going to sway. It's his demeanor, how he carries himself, how he leads in general, Jason, is one of this guy's greatest strengths and is what is keeping him way up on people's lists, really. He had the 4th highest dominator rating in the class at 26%, but he did not face great competition. We'll talk about that in a second. 20 for 27 in contested situations last year that led the class. So he is great at going up and getting the ball. He's got strong hands. His one of his best strengths also is hand strength. Jason, he solidified his position as a number 3 wide receiver in the combine, or after his combine performance. That's what Steve Smith says. Steve Smith was impressed by his demeanor and how smooth he ran routes in real life. And he's not sure if he's just so smooth or if he is just cruising. And when a wide receiver talks about just cruising through his routes, that means he is not working hard. So Steve Smith thinks that he's just smooth. But he does say he looks like he is cruising, which is a negative thing. Steve Smith said that he will dominate in the slot immediately, and I do agree with that. We'll talk about that. But because of his smoothness, he may not dominate immediately on the outside, but he will for sure once he gets used to the physicality of the corners on the outside and how they redirect you and shit. He will eventually dominate on the inside and outside. So right now, the best situation for him is to go to and be a slot wide receiver, and then eventually move to the outside. He has the skill set for that. Let me see. Oh, yeah. So, like I said, he did not play great competition. I went back, checked out him going up against Chris Gonzalez, Jason. That was last year, but Chris Gonzalez was the best competition that he went against because he's up there at Washington State. And, let's see. He did not do anything on the outside. Like, every time he tried to go outside, Chris Gonzalez, was just moving him to where he wanted to be. But he was open a decent amount on the inside, so he can work the inside against a physical wide receiver like Chris Gonzalez. Chris Gonzalez, Jason, was going to be the rookie defensive player of the year last year until he got injured for the Patriots. Now, I want to talk about this, Jason. We talked about him being a leader, his demeanor, how smooth he is, and about his strengths. Now let's talk about his toughness. He suffered a broken rib and a punctured lung, recovering an onside kick versus Arizona last year. He rested that bye week, and then he played the next week in a win versus Oregon. DJ projects the Bears to draft him number 9. So the Bears are going to try to be the Houston Texans of last season, get 2 top players in the first 10 picks, pretty much, and turn it around. And because of the smoothness, and the size and the 40 time, Davante Adams had a pro quarterback, Jason, in college at Derek Carr. This guy had a pro quarterback in college, Michael Penix. They both did not face great competition. Devontae Smith got penalized even more for it, went in the second round. So Devontae Smith, if this guy works hard and goes to the right situation, I do think he'll work hard because he's so good at you don't get that savvy without working hard. But if he gets an Aaron Rodgers, Jason, he'll be just as good as Davante Adams eventually, maybe. But if he goes to a shitty quarterback and stuff like that, I do not see him overcoming a lot of that until later on in his career.
Did you see the Jets might be making a push for him?
Well, we're gonna. Oh no! Shit! Where do I have him going trading up for the Jets? God damn it! Oh no! Next up is that. Wait. Oh yeah, no, he's up on my next one, Jason. The Jets are. Daniel Jeremiah thinks the Jets are going to trade up to get the number 1 wide receiver.
Ooh. Yeah. Either way, it kind of sucks. When I saw him at the NFL Combine when I was watching, I was like, my comparison of this dude was Larry Fitzgerald, and that was just because of his fade routes. It was insane how he was able to jump up. Yep. Whatever you're doing right there, Tyler. Larry Fitzgerald.
I forgot to say he puts his hands up at the last. He's literally like a pro. There's a couple of these wide receivers that are like pros, and he's one of them. He just doesn't have that top-end physical traits.
I think he can have a good career, but right now I am afraid when it comes to fantasy purposes, because if he goes to the Bears, first off, you're already dealing with a rookie quarterback, but then you also got DJ Moore, vet, Keenan Allen, vet, Cole Kmet, vet, and then him, and it's like,
It's like Jackson Smith and Jigba, dude. He wasn't viable in fantasy, but maybe 2 weeks.
Yeah, there's too many mouths to feed, and that's kind of shitty. But maybe if he goes to the Jets, I would trust him. Then what's that guy's name? Mike Williams.
Oh, for sure. But then Garrett Wilson.
No, I mean as my number 2, a number 2 wide receiver. Because
yeah.
Because on the Bears, he's going to be like the third or fourth option, you know?
Yeah, because I just think he's going to the Bears, and it's going to suck. It'll be great for Caleb Williams, dude. Your fucking slot receiver is Rome Odunez. So that's amazing. And he's not going to be going against Chris Gonzalez types all the time in the slot, especially if he's got a better wide receiver than him on the outside. So I think that is his best scenario. And I think it'd be great for Caleb Williams, but for fantasy football, no, dude. No. Because Keenan Allen will be leaving. And if Keenan Allen can show Rome Odunez what's up, dude, you look up smoothest route runners in the NFL, Jason, like I did. Larry Fitzgerald, it was Devontae Adams and Keenan Allen. And so if he went to a team with Keenan Allen, man, there you go. That's you're set up for success, man.
Absolutely.
So yeah, that'd be a future move. All right. Rome Odunez, I think I like Adonai Mitchell more than Rome Odunez, Jason.
All right. You ready for this next one? I had some help from my family tree. Speaking of Keenan Allen, Malik Nabers. 6 foot, 200 pounds. Malik was a large part of Jaden Daniels' success in 2023. Malik had 89 receptions for 1,500 receiving yards, and that gave him back-to-back 1,000 yards receiving. He could play inside and outside. He only had 4 drops last year. He reportedly ran a 4.35 40 times on his pro day since he didn't participate in the combine. He has a stop-and-go ability in his route running, and everyone already knows about his explosiveness. He at times made the game look too easy for how the players he was going against, the teams he was going against, his route running, his speed, his explosiveness. It was pretty crazy to watch. According to Steve Smith, he made cornerbacks say, "Mama." Sorry, I had to put
got that hat flipped up. He's in his big old glasses. Mama.
He makes him say, "Mama." Smith also said Nabers is oh my God, what's that painter's name? Picasso.
Oh, yeah.
But without paint. Because he should have had a lot more opportunities, but Daniels wouldn't go through his progressions fast enough. So there was points still left on the field. PFF has his comparison to Antonio Brown, but being compared to Antonio Brown, I feel like is forbidden. So I went to a man more experienced in watching football, my father, Mr. Ethan Walt. And he stated his comparison is Keenan Allen because of how he made cornerbacks look stupid. We've been seeing this for years in the NFL, how Keenan Allen just toys with the cornerbacks, doesn't matter how good they are. We saw it last year. He killed it in receptions and route run, or fantasy points per route run, yards per route run. Setting them up to think he's doing one thing and then completely run a different route. This is pretty simple. Nabers to Commanders. Sign it. It's going to happen.
Yeah, Jason. And some Malik Nabers, all I keep on seeing about him is OBJ comparisons. I mean, it's probably because where he went to college. I'm sure that doesn't hurt. He's PFF's number 4 player overall, man. So he's a top 5 overall player according to PFF. This is the important thing, man. This is the biggest difference. Steve Smith had to explain this. He thinks that Marvin Harrison and Malik Nabers are 1A, 1B. It depends on the team and your needs. Marvin Harrison is not an X wide receiver. He is a ZY wide receiver. So he likes to slot in that secondary position. Malik is an X receiver. He is that one dog. So if you need that one, say like the Giants, Jason, that's what you need. So depending on the situation, one wide receiver might be better for you. So yeah, Malik is, dude, he can get off the line of scrimmage and create his own free release. He's that X receiver on the outside. DJ projects the Giants to draft him number 6 overall, so that's why I said the Giants. Plus, they need that X wide receiver. They did draft the fastest man alive, dude, last year, and he would look so good on the opposite side of Malik. So, cannot remember that wide receiver I was pushing for all year last year, but he was like a 2nd or 3rd round pick.
Jalen Hyatt,
man, 24 miles an hour, some shit. You get the Malik and that. They need an offensive line. If I was a Giants, I'd be like, dude, just draft offensive line for the next 10 rounds, please. But if they can get this guy is a special wide receiver. Like these two right here, Malik and Marvin, are in a tier of their own.
There was one play where it showed like the strength, determination of Nabers, where he was literally the defender was like taking his jersey and like ripping it off, and he would still manage to turn around and get a little diving catch, and it was art to Costco.
Yeah, and I watched, I remember that Picasso thing, Jason, because we did a episode on something about wide receivers, and we went over Malik Nabers, and I was like, dude, this guy is insane. So I'm remembering that.
Yeah.
So I can say confidently, I do like him more than Adonai Mitchell. So that means that they are in a tier of their own. So if one of your team gets these guys, dude, I don't think that, I don't know. We'll need to talk about that in a second, but all right, Jason, ready for Marvin Harrison?
Let's get it.
PFF number 2 overall. So yeah, dude, it's Caleb Williams and then Marvin Harrison Jr. 6'4", 205. He says he runs a 4.3 something. I believe it because he was tracked at 22.2 miles an hour on a touchdown last season. So that matches that. He was doubled, Jason, get this. He was doubled on 16.8% of his routes, which was the highest doubling rate ever recorded. No other wide receiver has ever had an 8.5% double rate, has ever succeeded or has ever had a 70% success rate. That's what Marvin Harrison Jr. did. So if you have a 70% success rate, you have never been doubled more than 8%. He did this with a 17% double rate. So he's getting doubled more than anybody else, and he's still getting that success rate, Jason. He was in the he got doubled that much because he was in the 100th percentile in going against single man coverage over the last 2 years. So when you put one man on him, there's nobody better than him over the last 2 years. 120 yards and a touchdown each game versus Michigan the last 2 years. That's like his toughest competition. He is a Z wide receiver. He can. So Steve Smith was like, he can't play on the boundaries. He can't create his own for real release day one. Over time, he will. But if you think about this, he plays a slot. He's like a chess piece, man. He moves all around, almost like a Tyreek Hill. And Tyreek Hill plays everywhere. And with the NFL the way it is, yeah, like Marvin Harrison does have issues with free releases sometimes. I did see that. But man, Jason, what did the Miami Dolphins do last year? They just revolutionized that shit. So not too concerned about that. Uses his speed well. Now we're just going over his strengths. It's the same thing as his goddamn dad. Uses his speed well, can slow it down, and he has excellent body control. So I was reading this article about how his dad made the Hall of Fame as like a 5'10" wide receiver, 6 foot wide receiver, but they call him 5'10" wide receiver. Because he could not rely on his physical abilities, man. Like he was not dominating. He had to do all this footwork. It was all about his footwork and release at the line of scrimmage that made him great, Jason. And now he just had a kid that he taught all of that to and is a prototypical wide receiver type, man. He is 4 inches and 20 pounds heavier than a senior. Senior and Steve Smith says that he's better than senior. Dude, he's so savvy. He knows all the tricks. He grew up as a pro. You're going to have to deal with all this bullshit. DJ projects the Jets are going to trade up to get him number 5 overall. So you saw the Jets make all these moves in free agency for their tackles. Would it surprise us if they did this, Jason? Probably not. And let's see. His comp, Jason, is AJ Green, which you get it, man. You watch him do all these. His body control is insane. But AJ Green didn't have all these nuances and like speed control and all that footwork off the line of scrimmage. I mean, he did, but not to this degree. And then, so I compare him to Marvin Harrison, Jason, but taller. That is my comp. Calvin Johnson, Randy Moss, Julio Jones, AJ Green. These are the last 4 prospects that had this level of grading, and all of them hit. So this guy is bust proof to me. Whereas Malik, I think Malik depends on where he goes because he's that specialty X wide receiver. Marvin Harrison's going to work wherever he goes, dude. That's it. That's all. I mean, in real life and fantasy, draft Marvin Harrison Jr. before any other wide receiver.
Yeah, he's definitely going to make a quick impact this year. He's going to be that one for sure dude. Like, if you draft him, you know you're going to get some points out of him, probably even some weak winners. I think if he goes to the Cardinals, too, man, they're going to have a perfect setup, but it has him who could kill it in man-to-man, Michael Wilson who could kill it in zone, and they got Murray as your quarterback, dude. Man, even if we went to the Jets, man, you have Wilson and Williams on the outside and him on the inside. I'd rather them get Harrison than the tight end, Brock Bauer.
Oh, yeah. for sure. Oh, dude, I would get Harrison over Brock Bowers any day of the week, man.
Dude, what does this tell you, Tyler, that this guy didn't even go to the combine? Not even doing a pro day, I don't think. Did he do a pro day?
Yeah, he's like Caleb Williams, but Caleb Williams is like he's running for president pretty much. So he's got to show up and kiss hands and shake babies. Marvin Harrison Jr. is like, I don't give a shit about this, man. I'm just a wide receiver,
and he's still number one. He's still number one to go.
Jason, we've heard about drama from Malik Nabers, which is typical. Odell Beckham, all these assholes, dude. I get it, man. You're in that flare. You're out there by yourself. You get an ego. Marvin Harrison Jr., man, I mean, he grew up this way. So I don't think he's going to have an ego. I think he's going to be awesome. And it's going to be more like the Calvin Johnson type. But he is not the Calvin Johnson type. I don't want to take that away. I don't want people to think that about him. He's not that receiver. He's just something in between.
Well, wherever he goes, I am excited to see him play.
Yeah. And watching his tape was pretty boring, Jason. All you do is, it's like, all right, there's like the quarterback has all the time in the world to throw, and then all of a sudden, you don't see the ball, and he is 20 yards separated from everybody else in a long touchdown. That's every single highlight, dude. It's insane.
Yeah, wide receivers are going to be fun this year to watch, especially the top three they're going to go. I am, out of all these players, Tyler, who are you most looking forward to try to draft and then or in our fantasy draft coming up in a couple months?
Probably Lad McConkey. Go fuck that guy, man. No, I'm kidding.
Deep sleeper, man.
He's good, but I just dude, come on, dude. I feel like that's a 3rd round draft pick. I got a really good slot receiver. He's gonna be his floor is really high. So I think it's because of the 3 I picked, Jason. I think I'm gonna get all about Brian Thompson.
Yeah, Brian Thompson is my guy now that I'm going to try to see. I mean, we got to see like ADP and stuff like that, but I'm eyeing that guy, dude. He's looking pretty good.
Yeah, from what you told me and everything, like I want to go watch tape because I bet you I've seen him ranked higher than Adonai everywhere, pretty much. So if I like Adonai this much, I think I'm going to really like this dude or Brian.
Let me know if you get a glimpse of Randy Moss. Just a glimpse.
Yeah, you tell me Randy Moss, I'm like, well, fuck, dude.
I know.
Barn here, dude.
People say I was crazy, but I'm like, oh man, look at this guy right now. Especially when you see if you watch the Steve Smith one, dude. God, he's so funny. But
hey,
let me know
if you guys out there have a wide receiver that you like in the NFL draft. Please comment down below so we can check it out, man. This is a fantasy football show. And like I said, we will be going over deeper cuts after the draft when we know situations of some of these deeper wide receivers. And we'll be hitting them if they can make an impact fantasy-wise or real-life-wise as well. So that is the show, Jason. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully we earned a thumbs up. Give us a thumbs up for Jason's dad. Please subscribe for Jason's dad. He's here in the flesh, not here on the other side of the screen, a couple states away. He's right there. So, Jason, please, God, please help us. Please, we need your help so bad. Please send us out, Jason.
We got a live video coming out on Friday. Might be a couple beers drinking. Join us. Let us know. We're going to think about the title and everything, but we'd like to see you there. Moji.
This is the Fantasy Red Zone, and we appreciate you.